Dave was one of the better characters of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, voiced by Glen Powell, who is now a major superstar in Hollywood. But what if I were to tell you that his character could have actually made his way into the next Jurassic World movie that's coming in 2025? Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Jurassic 7 video. We're going to be taking a slight break from the Chaos Theory content to return back to Camp Cretaceous and discuss something that could have truly been amazing for the next Jurassic World movie that's slated to release on July 2nd of 2025. This movie has also had so many details released over the last night, so we'll be covering the full cast of that movie very soon. But for today, we'll be talking about a cast member who didn't make it into the movie, and one of which that's already been part of the franchise. We're aiming for 250,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so be sure you're subscribed to help us reach that target, and for you to also have heaps of Jurassic World content here on YouTube. But for now, without any further ado, make sure you're sat back, relaxed, and enjoying your G Fuel after using code SWERVE, as it's time to learn how Dave from Camp Cretaceous almost made his way into the next Jurassic World movie. So when we take a look back at the characters of Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, I mean sure, we did have the 6 campers, but they were kids, and understandably they can get annoying. But one of the adult characters from Camp Cretaceous, Dave, out of Dave and Roxy, is one of arguably the more fun and enjoyable characters to have from that show. Loads of people loved him, he seemed to be more of a genuine character. Yes, he had his goofy side, of course, and his comedic side, but he also had his very serious side as well, which I really liked about him. You could really relate to Dave, especially as somebody who just likes to have fun, but when things get serious, things get serious. That's why I really liked Dave as a character. But he was also voiced by Glen Powell, who is now one of the biggest Hollywood actors out there right now, and one that's been getting loads of movies quite lately. But why is this important to talk about? Well, quite recently he decided to go on to, I think it was the Hollywood Reporter, and have an interview with them, basically discussing how he's going to step away from Hollywood just a little bit to more focus on his family in Texas, I believe. You can check out the full article in the description. If I forget, feel free to let me know in the comments to add it there. But within that article, right near the very end, we actually got something very interesting that gives us quite a lot to speculate about. It turns out that he can confirm that he was supposed to be part of this movie, of this next Jurassic World movie that's releasing in 2025. And this is what the article had to say. Looking ahead, Glen Powell is definitive on what he won't do. In fact, in relatively short time, he has garnered a reputation for being picky, primarily because he's passed on a handful of recent tentpoles, including a Bourne Identity update and the Jurassic Park movie that Universal are releasing next year. This is what Glen Powell had to say. Jurassic is one of my favourite movie franchises. It's one of the things I've always wanted to do my entire life. But I'm not doing that movie because I read the script and I immediately was like, my presence in this movie doesn't help it at all. And the script's great, but the movie's going to fucking kill. It's not about that. It's about choosing where you're going to make an audience happy and where you're going to make yourself happy. And that's what he had to say about being casted for the next Jurassic World movie. Unfortunately, he does seem to have turned it down, which is a great shame, because he does go on to say, it's about choosing where you're going to make an audience happy. And believe me, Glenn, I promise you, if you were playing Dave in this next movie from Camp Cretaceous, I promise you would have made the audience very, very happy, that's for sure. We absolutely love it when live action characters go into animation or animated characters come into live action. Us as the fans adore that shit. We're so happy when it comes to that type of stuff. And having Dave, one of the better characters from this whole entire show, it would have been incredible to see. And I would love to have kind of like explored Dave and what he got up to after the fall of Jurassic World, how that all affected him, how it affected him after going to Manticore Island, because we see his serious tone, he can be serious, and I'm pretty sure that would have affected him in some way and enough to play a part or some kind of role in the next Jurassic World movie. But on the contrary, if Glenn is actually saying this to the point where people will recognise that he's not playing Dave, I understand, because that would have made audiences unhappy, which is fair enough. He does give us some reassurance saying that the script's great and the movie's going to fucking kill, as he says in his quote, so I'm actually very excited about that because, as we know, David Koepp, the writer of the first Jurassic Park movie, wrote this movie, and Steven Spielberg's back as the main executive producer and he's more hands-on as well, It's going to be amazing, and this is just further reassurance from Glen Powell himself. But yeah, why do I think this is Dave? Well, it's merely because of what he says, that he read the script and immediately he was like, my presence in the movie doesn't help it. Now, to me, as much as I love Dave, that sounds like a Dave type of thing, you know? It just seems like he's that character that he's not really too much of a main character, he's just like a background character that's there every now and then, but can be a quote-unquote main cast member, if that makes sense. So with Glenn saying that his presence in the movie didn't really make it all that big, then understandably I believe that's because he was playing a character like Dave, where the movie doesn't really focus on him too much, and it's just kind of like a character that I guess not many people who haven't watched the animated show will understand too much. But either way, in that one singular quote, I believe that's because he was playing Dave, and Dave wasn't meant to be a main character in the movie. So that means his presence wasn't going to affect the movie too much. And that's understandable by Glenn. I assume, you know, he'd love to play Dave in live action someday, but Dave has to do a little bit more. I guess they need to write him as more of a main character rather than a main sub-character, if that makes sense. So understandably, it seems as though Glenn was set to play Dave, but he decided to turn it down, which is, you know, that's fine by me, but hopefully one day he does return with, well, being Dave in live action, because he's one of the few characters I'd love to see in live action from animated. So there we have it. Whilst it isn't exactly confirmed that his character, Dave from Camp Cretaceous, was going to be the one that he was going to play, it does make logical sense that it was, given with what he said about his role in this next movie, and the mere fact that he has already played this character in this universe. Nonetheless, given some of the names that have released on that full cast list last night, it does seem like this movie is going to be packed without fear, so don't worry. And I simply can't wait for it. I'm so excited. Jurassic 7 is going to roll around next year. We're almost like, we're 13 months away from it. We still don't have a title, but I'm very excited, and I'm pretty sure once June runs around, we'll be getting a lot more information. And if you can't wait for Jurassic 7 either, then make sure you're subscribed to the channel, as we will be keeping you updated with all of the important news as it comes through. But for now, all I ask for from you guys today is to make sure you're all staying safe out there, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye. Hello, hi, you. Did you enjoy the video? Just a little reminder to press that like button and also subscribe. I just want to thank my Patreons for this month on screen right here, as giving me that little extra support really does go a long way. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.